G'day all. After a 2-week hiatus of Throwdown Thursdays, we are back, and it's been a 3-week hiatus for Damo. That's all right. He's had some things to do on Thursdays. I was actually busy last Thursday. I picked up a shift, so that's all right. But we are back heading into round 9. Damon, how are we going, mate? Sorry, Damon.
I'm good, man. It's been a while since we've done this, so might forget how to, talk to people.
Oh, wait, I haven't got the Throwdown Thursday. Oh, well, too late. I haven't got the Throwdown Thursday background. That's all right. So we got a fair few things to talk about. It has been a couple of weeks since the last one. Oh, you just did it then. Hang on.
There you go. I got it. I did it.
How do I do it? No, not solo. Nah. Stop mic, edit name. No, I don't want to do that. Oh wait, I go to settings, go to virtual background. Boom, there we go.
Hey, there we go. Both got the background now.
Is that the wrong way around?
No, it looks fine.
Okay, beautiful. So on the agenda for today, we'll present our round 8 summaries. Our summary for round 8. We'll discuss who's on the hot seat for us. We'll discuss some rookies, upgrade season discussion. We'll talk specifically about Max Gorn, Rowan Marshall, Caleb Daniel. Going early on rookies, we'll talk about that as well. Team structure. We can talk about what type of structures we are aiming for and running with at the minute, and some C and VC options. So I guess first thing on the agenda is we usually talk about how we went the previous round. Damo, kick us off.
Yeah, so I believe round 8 was the first time that I have gone backwards in the rankings since the start of the season. I started a long way back because my round 1 was comparatively shit, which was despite owning a lot of the popular guys. So, round 8 went backwards in the rankings, but I'm still in a pretty good position compared to where I was. I took Tristan Sherry's vice captaincy score on the Thursday night. I didn't own any of the guys that went massive, which hurt me, I feel. So I ended up with a score just below 2,300, and feels like 2,300 plus was where par was for most people. So I think that's what hurt me and moving down the rankings. And a few players I've got to make decisions on this week, and I think I've settled on my trades, but I need to start bouncing back. I need to start powering towards the buys, and also need to start thinking about who I'm trading in because of the buys.
Good stuff. Sorry, I'm just tweeting that we're live. There we go. All right. I guess for me this week, I think I went 2-5-4-8. So huge score on my end. I think it was inside top 2,000 for a round score. And the season rank now is 782nd, so we've moved inside the top 1K. So a bit lucky in certain situations, but you absolutely take it. I think some trading's really helped me with that. Getting on Gorn a month ago for Flynn at dead at R2 was probably a turning point for my side. Also, getting a Nick Dacos a few weeks ago helped. Didn't help me last week, but that's all right. So, just making the upgrades on the sides and holding a couple of guys that have turned around in form, thankfully enough, as well as has helped for me as well. And it is a strong season thus far for me. And it'll be interesting to see how things go for the last 2/3 of the season, as we are now a third of the way through the season. Does it feel like it's gone quick?
It does. We're now a third through the season, and it feels like the year's gone very quickly. We're now at round 9, and too quickly, way too quickly.
Of course, today is the day that they're doing some repairs in my apartment block. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. It's very loud. They never told me they were doing repairs today, so I'll be talking a bit louder than what I thought I would have to. So, yeah, look, I guess we'll talk about some of the rookies uh, for this round. So I know a lot of people are looking to get a rookie as a downgrade. There are only 2 on the bubble that seem relevant. There might be some adjustments with team news coming tonight, but we know that Henry Hustwaite and Neil Erasmus are both on the bubble for this week. I think we're both in agreement that if you don't have Henry Hustwaite, make sure you grab him before the price starts going up. Then Neil Erasmus, I did want to chat to you about him. He is, from what I heard, in your trade plans for this week. Give us an overall summary on how you view the Erasmus pick.
Yeah. People asking me lots of questions about Erasmus, and I firstly just want to say I'm not inside the club. I don't know what they have planned for Neil Erasmus, but on the surface, it would seem that he is coming into Hayden Young's position. So he should avoid the sub vest this week, but from then on, it would be purely form dependent. He should have pretty good job security at least until Jager O'Meara comes back. Nathan O'Driscoll is close to being fit, but probably Cooper Simpson comes out for him. So yeah, it's all form dependent after this week whether Neil Erasmus can avoid the sub vest. But if they're smart, they will give him a chance to prove that he belongs at the level because he hasn't had opportunities like the other top 10 picks that they've selected to prove himself. And now that Hayden Young's not in the team, Neil Erasmus is pretty much a like for like. So they should see if he's got the right mindset, got the right skills to belong at the level. And I've picked him. I think he's going to be a pretty good pickup. Only needs to be in the team without the sub vest for 3 or 4 weeks. And so takes him through to the Freo's bye, and then you can offload him then. You're muted.
I was muting because of the repairs in the background, but I have gotten some news that Treloar might have done his calf again, so that is an absolute. Well, actually, we got it here. Treloar has done his calf again either today or yesterday, absolutely shattering. Cheers, James P. Hope you're doing well. Sardis dropped. That doesn't surprise me. Archer Daywick's the debut. Treloar laid out. Harvey Gallagher will be sub. Really? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Hope you're doing well, Harley. Hope you are doing well. Flynn to Boxshall, Moraes to Chad Warner.
Cool. This is on the run sheet. Going rookies early.
Yes, it is. So I assume he's got Henry Hustwaite, Harley. I am not sold on going early with Boxshall, especially
I'm not sold on going rookies early at all.
Yeah, no, that's me as well. You don't want to fall into the trend of just going early on rookies because I know a lot of people did it with Hustwaite last week, but you don't want to keep following it up. Like, surely just grab Erasmus, I reckon.
There's the massive debate about rolling lockout going on, and most of it is most of the people for the rolling lockout are talking about late changes, sub vests, all that sort of thing. We saw last week Jed Busslinger, who we thought could escape the sub vest being a key defender, did not in fact avoid the sub vest. So it's all well and good to go for a guy that looked good in his first game, but it should just be put on your watch list. It shouldn't be someone that you jump on instantly because there is a chance that he has the sub vest this week. We don't know. We don't know how the Saints will work. I think you have to get these guys on the bubble, and then you have the chance to switch, rotate, whatever you want to call it, if they do end up being the sub. But if you go early and they're the sub this week and then drop next week, well, you're not going to make any money off them, and it's a wasted trade.
Yeah, and where do you sit on the debate of going back to the old lockout system? Like, I just totally disagree with it. The amount of BS that'll happen when your team's locked out, can't do anything. It's just, I don't think they can do it.
To be honest, if teams were released and with the subvest named at time of teams being announced,
There'd be more.
and they put a restriction on late changes and all that, and injury reporting and all that sort of thing, then I would be happy with, once teams are announced on a Friday, once teams are confirmed by Friday night for the Sunday games, etc., a weekend lockout I would not be opposed to. But while teams can do late changes willy-nilly, can name subs an hour before the game, all that sort of thing, I think rolling lockout is unfortunately necessary. I get both sides of the argument and can be swayed both ways, but I've seen people on Twitter and Facebook going, I hate that when I play fantasy or when I play SuperCoach, I have to be on my phone for all parts of the weekend to manage if a player is sub that I don't think is going to be sub and all that sort of thing. And the lockout kind of takes that away. But yeah, I don't know if subs were announced or completely abolished, then I think a rolling lockout, then I think a full lockout or at least a weekend lockout would be far easier to handle.
And I also think SuperCoach and AFL Fantasy, especially SuperCoach, because I focus on SuperCoach a lot more. They're making adjustments to the game so people can, there can't be as much BS as what there used to be in the game. So I don't know. I'd agree. I think a lockout like the old days would be better if there were no subs and any of that sort of thing. But there can be late changes. So it is an interesting one, and yeah, I know in AFL Fantasy we go a lot more for rookies a lot earlier as well. So just back to the discussion of going early on rookies, if they get injured or they're subbing their second game, well, I mean, you wouldn't go early on a rookie if they were subbing the second game, but it's just incredibly risky because you can just have, it could easily just turn into a dead rookie like that, and it takes a week for them to go up in cash, and that's basically asking them to have hope that job security lasts a bit longer as well. So, yeah, I think, not many people would have Erasmus. So if you went early on Hustwaite, surely just grab Erasmus ahead of like a Boxall, a Lorenz, that type of thing. Why are people choosing Boxall over Lorenz, by the way, to go early on?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Lorenz scored better and probably has better job security.
I think they've both got equal job security. I'm going to be completely honest on that. I think Boxall might have the more might have the more solid role. I didn't watch the Ballarat game, so I can't comment on how Lorenz played, but Boxall was in everything. Like he was around the ball. He looks like he's going to be a future SuperCoach stud. If he continues the way that he played on last Friday night. So I think that's why people are going for him over Will Lorenz. I know Ken Hinkley likes to back in his young guys, but he also likes to make the young guys the sub as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Boxall played 39% CBA, so I was curious, so I checked that up. So very interesting indeed. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. James P, I know we saw that. Yep. James P, never owned Dunkley ever before until this week, gents. I'm very excited about it. as he should be. We know Josh Dunkley really flies under the radar as a SuperCoach option ever since he's been moved out of the forward line for our sides. So at 529K, I believe that's his price. He might have gone up, actually. I haven't checked, but what is he?
521.
521, yes.
I'm just looking at his scores now. So 173 in round 1, which was massive. But then 117, 105, 114, 88, 83, 100, and 109. So he's really struggled to get above that 110 sort of scoring, but comes up against North this week, Melbourne the week after. Hawthorn might be a little bit difficult, but Essendon, then Adelaide, then the Giants. So he's got a good run from here.
And
I
last buy as well, so you've got him for longer till the buy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've noticed round 16 is becoming a difficult buy for some though, so that might be one that might come into people's thinking as well.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I personally can't own him for buy balance though.
No, me neither. I'm more of a Lockie Neal guy. I think this season I wish I got on Neal, but wasn't able to. Do you think Dunkley is affected a fair bit by the amount of different scoring options in Brisbane's midfield?
I think there's a few guys being affected by just how deep Brisbane run. Josh Dunkley in the midfield, even Dane Zorko in defence. We've seen Jasper Fletcher go back there, and he's having a really solid run at the moment as well in SuperCoach. And then Kitty and Coleman came back in the VFL last week and tore it up again. So we could see Coleman and Fletcher really, pick Dane Zorko's pockets a bit when it comes to the SuperCoach scoring, just because of how deep they are. And Darcy Wilmot also started the year fairly strongly as well, scoring 90 plus for the first few weeks. So there's guys down there. We might see a change in role for Zorko or Fletcher or one of those guys, but I think the way Brisbane runs so deep, and plus they've added Levi Ashcroft. Will Ashcroft is getting more centre bounces as well. I think the depth of Brisbane's side has meant that some players are getting affected, and it's a little bit more roller coaster than consistent from here. But it's just a testament to how strong that Brisbane side is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like once again they're going to be the team to beat this season. They just look unbelievable, and then probably adding Oscar Allen next year as well. They're just an absolute force. And yeah, we've seen McCluggage lift his game. Obviously, a full season out of Will Ashcroft. I assume it does affect a player like Neal, a player like Dunkley's ceiling, but they're both absolute champions, so they'll be able to keep it up. So I think Dunkley's perfectly fine, mate. I think I'll be going Archer, Reid, Flynn, Chera for Warner, Dunks, and Finbar, Maley.
Another rookie that people are going early on.
Yeah, yes. Unless it's for money, like, is it because I believe Finbar is he 99K?
He is 119, same price as Erasmus.
Yeah, I reckon just go Erasmus, James. Thank you for the comments, though. If Maley did get injured and was a red dot in one of the spots, I wouldn't mind, as then I can look at my rucks and Maley will not get dropped. And I was pushing for him to start round 1. Yeah, you don't really want to chase red dots though. Nah, I reckon just go Erasmus, mate.
Erasmus or Hustwaite, depending on who you don't have.
Yeah.
Hustwaite's probably the better one.
I presume he has Hustwaite. Yeah, nah.
Well, just like you asked me about Erasmus, I could ask you about Hustwaite.
Fair enough.
Connor Nash comes back in 2 weeks. Where does Hustwaite go from there?
And Mackenzie's back in 2 weeks as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I do have a little problem that he isn't, like, even without Nash and Mackenzie, his CBAs are still only looking at low 40s, mid 40s CBAs, and they pushed up with Josh Ward's last week. So that does concern me with Hustwaite, but yeah, I don't know.
I think he's been good enough that he should stay in the team.
Yeah, whether he can.
And there was really good comments from Sam Mitchell after his first game as well. So it sounds like they really like him, but I think it will come down to team balance, whether he stays in the side or not, and what role he gets once those guys return.
Yeah, because Nash has to come in, and so does Mackenzie. So
has Josh Ward been playing?
He has. Nothing's been outstanding, I reckon, from him.
Could he potentially get pushed out for one of those guys and Hustwaite keep his spot?
The only problem would be is Ward can be a winger, where we've been playing him a lot this season. Hustwaite hasn't shown signs of really being versatile.
Yeah,
so,
but Mackenzie can probably play that role.
He can probably play wing, yeah. It's hard to say. I think Hustwaite gets a run with some of those guys back, but obviously his potential for scoring will drop a little bit, I feel. So, so maybe Mackenzie can play that winger role. So, yeah, I think he can survive when the other guys are back, but it's a bit of a question mark because he has been playing well, but just all about team balance, really. He's not versatile. Hustwaite, he can really only play midfield. I know they've been trying him on the wing and half forward. Hasn't really worked like that. So he passes the eye test with flying colours, just whether team balance pushes him out or not, really. But hopefully for us super coaches, he can, because he looks really good. Good foot skills, good by hand. A little bit slow, but that's all right. He's basically the same height as Buddy as a midfielder, so that's all right. Yeah, hopefully that helps. But regardless, jump on Henry Hustwaite because he is the best downgrade option for the week.
Next 2 weeks is due to go up in price by 100K if he and that's only projected scoring 45s. So
even if he only lasts 2 weeks, he already does his job by going up 100K. He's also got Melbourne this week as well.
He could quite easily turn up this week.
Oh, for sure. If you have the opportunity to get him on field, I would. I know I'm in the position of choosing whether I emergency Lindsay or Hustwaite. And at the minute, it's definitely Hustwaite and probably will be Hustwaite. Lindsay's dropping off a little bit, but not urgent just yet. But we wouldn't mind another spike in score from him, I think.
So next 2 weeks, if Hustwaite scores 75s, he will go to about 180K after this week. And then another 75, he will go to 210K. So he'll pretty much double his price in 2 weeks if he continues scoring the way he is.
Which I think he's very capable of. Got the CBA role, got a good matchup again against Melbourne. Hopefully a very solid score to keep him up in price. So he is definitely a guy, if you haven't got, I would be jumping on. Thank you for the comments, James P. I can easily afford Neil, but just don't resonate with him. Fair enough. We eventually, I've been waiting on the dip of Lockie Neal, but it just never comes. Archer Reed's break even is 80, and in a ruck spot, so can't get a bid. Fair enough. I forgot about that.
Watching Finbar on Thursday night, it looks like he made their forward line better.
He did.
So of the guys that are going to be on the bubble next week, maybe Finbar is the one to go for because he's probably the least likely to be the sub. And if you need an R3 or someone in that position, but in general, I don't like going on rookies early.
I don't either, but I guess in his position, I totally forgot that Archer Reed is a ruck. So if he's trying to find a just an R3, and it's usually very tough this time of year to find a reliable R3 to downgrade to, then I think Finbar is fine and should be able to stay in the team. If you went Archer Reid over Harry Boyd, kudos to you, because you've won that by an absolute landslide. Hustwaite, a kick based on eye test, and he's a left footer, which is handy for them. Yeah, Ward will be out before the pencil. Yeah, I think I'm not a Josh Ward believer personally. Pencil looks a lot better than him. I love the pencil. Let's talk about a couple of other things.
Just quickly, I love the nickname of the pencil.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? I call him Pencil. We all call him Pencil. We love our pencil. Mikey Z, hello boys. Just want to know which one I leave out. JHF, Track, or Warner. So I guess basically one to fade. It's probably Warner.
Really?
You reckon Warner? Oh, the new CBA role. I don't know.
I think Warner's a must-have. I think Warner is going to be a must-have for the rest of the season. He's going to be he might end up the top forward now that he's got the eligibility. And I trust Horn Francis's floor more than Petrarca, but I think Petrarca is probably. I don't know what's happening with Oliver. If we knew what was happening with Oliver, I would say you go Track over Horn Francis. But Horn Francis has shown that he can keep a solid level of scoring even with Rosie, Butters, all those guys still in the port side. So I think you leave out Track.
Well, his CBA's
but that is with very little confidence.
Yeah. But
in an ideal world, you have all three and one is in your flex position, perhaps.
Would you rather a ruck, though?
I mean, you could have one in your midfield. like let's be honest. Like Bailey Smith is averaging 110. You'd take that in your midfield every day of the week.
Oh, of course. If he was midfield eligible, would we go after him?
Who's this?
Bailey Smith.
He is midfield eligible.
No, sorry. Let me reword that. He's just a midfielder.
On current scoring, yes, probably.
Yeah. At 505k as well.
Yeah.
It's tough now, isn't it? My forward line is complete, but I think I'm grabbing Warner this week and planning to buy Flip Daniel. Maybe Horn Francis. Sometimes he can just have those games where you benefit as a non-owner. Out of those, I don't know. It's tough. Whatever player you don't like watching the least, whichever player you least like to
just
to
grab
watch.
the two you like watching the most. It feels like much of a muchness, but Chad Warner's fixture from here is very favourable for the Swans and midfielders.
It is. I need to have a look at DFS because everyone's been talking about this run, and I actually haven't. I think I'm bringing Warner this week. Yeah, it's a nice run till the bye. Oh no, I'm looking at key forwards. Sorry. Yes, it is a very favourable run till the buys. And he's got a good
even after that.
Yeah, and also round 24 against West Coast at Optus. Oh, is that 250?
It could be. We could see, mate. That could be a captaincy game.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're inside the top 10. You need a pod captain to win SuperCoach. Chad Warner, bang, right there. Yeah. I hope that helps, Mikey. James P. If Maley wasn't effed over by the umpires and scored the match winner, would have gotten scaled massively. He didn't get.
Were
He didn't get episode. He went over to the
were you
side.
watching the game? Were you watching the game? Because
Yeah, I was.
I was watching it, and you know how usually when players line up for goal, they've got the little name badge across the bottom, and they say, he's lining up for goal, and all that sort of thing, and all that sort. It felt like they just kind of kept on talking without building up the set shot. And I know players don't hear the commentary, but it just felt like all of a sudden play on. like obviously the player prepares differently and it's different to the who is actually playing the game, but it felt like the commentary just kept on talking, like there was just a conversation going.
Yeah, it did. And well, usually BT is one to really talk about the external parts of the game, where I don't know, they just kept chatting and they never mentioned the shot clock. And oh yeah, by the way, it is play on. And then what I think the worst thing, what's worse about it from a North Melbourne perspective, not one player went over to the first game and go, just take your time, calm down, you'll be right. No one went over to him. Don't you find that baffling? Where's Jai Simpkin? Where's Luke McDonald? Where are Jack Darling, Luke Parker? They've been a part of these moments like this for so long. Why did not one player go over to the first gamer? It's such a scary moment.
I mean, he did have his moment in the first quarter.
Yeah. What a name as well, Finbar Maley.
His family is a good basketballers, so for him to buck the trend and play footy is a bit interesting. But hey,
His dad's American as well.
When you're gifted, you're gifted.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a TikTok this morning of Nick Larkey pranking Finbar as a 50-year-old year member of North Melbourne, just pranking a B as Neil. I love Larkey. Placey SC. Hey boys, thinking of going Flynn and SPP to Cherry and Erasmus. Only picking if he isn't sub. So you're very confident that he isn't going to be sub.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to be sub.
Yeah.
After talking to a few, not people inside the club, but after talking to other Freo fans, we're all going to be surprised if he is picked as the sub tonight.
What type of role do you see him? Does he take that young role?
He was drafted as an inside mid who could impact when going forward. And considering Young has been playing that role in the team, I feel like he is going to be in that Young role.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So I thought he was going to be a half forward. Okay.
Well, to be honest, he very well could be, but the role he's been playing in the waffle is mid rolling forward. That's the same role that Young's been playing. It would make sense for it to be that.
Has he been doing good numbers in the waffle?
Last week he didn't, but prior to that, he's been traveling emergency a lot. So he's only really had a couple of games in the waffle, but the 2 full games that he's played, I believe he was actually pulled out of the waffle after the Hayden Young injury. So he only played a half. But
right.
in the two full games that I can recall that he's actually lined up in this season, he was very solid. Okay.
Something to think about for super coaches out there. I think I know it's not on the run sheet. The run sheet's a little bit rushed. We're a bit out of practice here, but I think we can talk about Tristan Cherry at the minute. Is it too late to jump on? Is this week the final opportunity? Is he out of reach? Like, would you side swap your R2 to get Cherry? Like, how do you view Tristan Cherry at the minute?
Well, he's back. We thought he was gone, but he's back.
He's extremely back.
I think if you don't have Gorn or Cherry, you need one of them, and Cherry's at the more achievable price.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think he had a tough run to start the season in terms of ruck matchups, and now it's like
but it wasn't the ruck matchup that that hurt him. It was that hamstring injury that they weren't really talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, because Oscar Big O is actually like renowned to be a restrictive ruck matchup. But even in the restrictive ruck matchups, he still goes nuts. Like he's got Richmond before his bye. Nate gives up a lot. He's got West Coast again. He's got Darcy at the minute who's struggling. He's got Nank twice for the rest of the year. Like it's just an unbelievable run, and it might be a bit hard for me to accept, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get him.
I'm almost feeling the same way about Gorn, which is scary.
Gorn, yeah, I'm fairly certain though Gorn goes a lot worse post bye usually.
Well, Lloyd Meek has been quite restrictive of late. So I know Gorn's break even is quite low after that almost 200, but we could see a 95 or 105, which isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but could slow down his cash generation and bring him back a little bit in a few weeks, and that will be when most people will need to jump on.
Yeah, I was listening to Pig. I was listening to Pig Mentality's captain's video yesterday. He did bring up that Meek has, in his last 5 games, where the data might be a bit skewed, he's played Briggs, Sweet, Stanley, Flynn, and Nank, which isn't the strongest of ruck runs there. So maybe
True.
is it because of
Is it because of matchup or is it because of Meek? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll find out this week. I've currently whacked the C on Max Gorn. I actually don't have a good read on captains this week, so I feel like I'm going a couple of guys that are just in form at the minute. I'll be taking a 120 if tonight if Dacos can get that done. I'm not sure yet though. Yeah, I was listening to Jovan May. I've listened to a fair bit of stuff of him recently because you always want to hear what the winner does. And I think it was something like he didn't have Luke Ryan all year. He didn't have Sarong all year. I think there was one other. He didn't have Zach Butters all year to win SuperCoach last year. So you don't have to get Cherry, but obviously there is a bit of extra work. So you don't have to get Cherry. But
his strategy is something that I think we can all take a leaf out of. He goes for guys who are very underpriced, but scoring in that premium range that gets him decent scores every single week. And if we look in the chat, there is a question from Mikey regarding Sean Manor. This is the kind of player that I feel is a very Jovan pick. At 445k, he's gone tons 3 weeks in a row. He's only had one score below 83 since he's come back into the Cat side. Given who's getting DPP, he might not be a top forward for the rest of the year, but he's doing enough to make it only a 3 to 5, maybe 10-point difference every single week, which you can make up somewhere else in the ground if you're smart with your downgrades and upgrades. So Sean Manor at 445k feels like a very Jovan pick, and I really like Sean Manor as a pick this week.
He's flying under the radar, isn't he? He's probably getting overshadowed by all these other forward options. So yeah, I think his tactic really is just getting rookies off field ASAP.
Yeah.
And which is fair enough. And I think the tactic moving forward, if opening round sticks and all that, and this current buy structure, which is 5 weeks, but with 4 of the 5 buy rounds, only 4 teams have the buy, with one team having 2, is that if we can get a full primo team up to the buy rounds, and we structure our buys, and we distribute our premiums and buys equally, we can have 18 premiums on field every week for the buy rounds.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's the ultimate strategy.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to be going really well to get that done. So maybe the team in first might be able to do that. Maybe my man Brad might be able to do that, who's 52nd in SuperCoach. SuperCoach Pro, shout out to him. Maybe the guys can get that done, and that's probably going to be the ultimate strategy for the buy rounds. If you can have 5 players on the buy each week and have 18 guys that you can field as primos every week, that probably gets the job done for you. So that's also another thing with people, maybe with Tristan Cherry. Just make sure you have a look at your buy structure before we, because that round 12 buy is 3 rounds away.
When we were recording Footy Mailbag last night, go and check out Footy Mailbag, thefootymailbag.net. When we had a question asking about the buys, and we all had a look at our buy structure, and round 12 was a disaster.
Yep.
Round 16 was a disaster. All the other 3 rounds we were perfectly fine with. But those other 2 rounds, oh boy, it made me change my trade plans.
Yeah, so round 16. Okay. So who's that? Essendon, GWS, Brisbane, Geelong.
So no Bailey Smith, no Lockie Neal, no Zach Merritt, no Finn Callahan, no Lockie Whitfield, no Zach Reed. You know.
Do you count the rookies though? Because I don't.
Mate. You count the rookies because they're currently in your team and scoring. If they're on your your field,
but you're swapping them out at the buys. Like Zach Reed will be gone before round 16.
Will he? He's scoring like a premium.
Yeah, maybe he's the new Jordan Ridley. Who knows? I know round 12 I'm buggered because I brought in Bailey bloody Dale.
I'm not. See, rounds. I'm in a worse position for round 16 than I am for round 12.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine in round 16, but round 12 I'm buggered. So everyone's got different weak points. I think if you've got a couple of Brizzy boys, you might be struggling in round 16, but round 16 is the last buy, so you can survive.
But to answer your question, do you count rookies in buy rounds? Well, if you have them on your field and they're scoring well enough, are you going to be getting rid of them if you can't make a clear upgrade? Probably not. So yes, you count them.
So do you count Matt Carroll in round 12?
As someone who could be on field for you? Absolutely.
Fair enough. I think the main key is as long as you don't have.
But is he going to be on field for you? Probably, like in best 22, probably not.
No, he's not. Pardon me.
And Rookie Coach makes a good point. It's easier to trade out of round 16 than round 12. So he's in a similar boat to me.
Yeah, and you'd rather have that setup because at least you got a month of those players playing throughout the buy rounds, as opposed to, if you want to buy flip a guy at round 12, you're buying into a player that's got another buy.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to navigate having backloading your buy round players. So it's an interesting discussion. Yeah, for me, at round 12, I'm in a fair bit of strife. I'm going to have to buy flip Helmet and maybe Chera. But then again, that's probably the 2 guys in round 16. And do you really want to be doing that? I'm not sure. So,
can I ask you about Helmet, good old Caleb Daniel?
Yes, you may.
When you started him, did you start him as a cash cow or as an underpriced premium? Because I know that there are people in one camp and some people in the other. So when you started him, what did you expect out of him? What was your expectations?
Well, I'll have splinters in my bum because I'm sitting on the fence. Like, I just viewed him as a value pick. So I viewed him as a value pick. If he's a keeper, grouse. If he isn't, that's fine. Buy, flip. Got a bit of money out of it. So look, for the first month, I just saw him as a keeper, and I saw him as a keeper for a fair bit until old mate Harry Sheasel moved back into the back line, where now he's the role hasn't changed, but the role's been shifted, where Caleb Daniel is now the second banana, where we were buying him and hoping for him to be a keeper as the first banana in that back line. So now that the role's adjusted, I'm grabbing Chad Warner this week to buy flip Caleb Daniel. I'm not trading Daniel just yet. I'm just going to buy flip him for the time being. Thanks for the call, Dad. So that's how I'm viewing it. Yeah, so I saw him as a value pick. But yeah, for the first month, it was looking pretty good that he'd be a keeper.
Yeah, the way my team is, and the way I need to upgrade my team, the way I've set my team up for my upgrades, I wouldn't be surprised if I still own Caleb Daniel by the end of the season. And if he's your biggest issue now, or if he's your biggest issue at round 12, I imagine you're in a much better position than most.
No, thank you. No. Yeah. Yeah, like he's not the worst hold. Like, I'm not advocating for people to be trading him out. That's just what I'm doing because Chad Warner's at a price where very hard to refuse. If you have to hold Caleb Daniel, that's fine. Like, I still think he can do 90 to 95 for the rest of the season in this current role. I think if Sheasel's stuck in the midfield, he probably would have been probably a 105 average, I would have probably expected. So he's losing a few points, but he's just not getting the volume that he was earlier in the season due to Sheasel moving down back. Now there's every chance that Sheasel could move back into the midfield, and if that's the case, Caleb Daniel's a hold. Well, a definite hold. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm buy flipping, I think, from what it seems, because unless I hear any news that Sheasel might move back into the midfield, I think that's just how I'm going to plan it out. Well, worst comes to worst, he is my M9 F7.
Yep.
Or maybe it's marriage. I'm still figuring that out. Because maybe marriage is better than Daniel now.
Don't rub it in. I went Humphrey. I went Humphrey over Marek and have regretted it ever since.
No, I'll try not to rub it in, mate.
That's probably my biggest regret of this season, not trusting Ryan Marek.
Or Minnie McQualter.
Yeah.
Because he's just got the piggiest role I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And every time I scroll past his name when I'm looking through players to trade in, I'm like, who has a good 3-round average? Fucking that guy again. Who's got a good 5-round average? Oh, there he is. Fuck me.
Who's got good value? Oh, it's still marriage. Yeah. Who's got really
dear.
it's marriage. Oh, God.
Who's the top scorer for West Coast this week? Oh, fucking hell.
Who's on 80 at half time for the Eagles? Oh, God. If there was a block button, if you could block a SuperCoach player, would it be marriage?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just not to see that name or face.
The thing is, so Tim Mitchell traded out Zach Reed after his...
Yeah, I saw that.
After his poor score. What was it, after the 36 or whatever it was? Or the
early in the season.
It was after the 38, maybe. After the 38, maybe. I'm not sure. But
that's carnage.
But Tim Mitchell and Zach Reed is is my version of me and Ryan Marrick. Except I never owned Ryan Marrick. I just thought fading him was smart. And it definitely wasn't. And now I'm very sad. Now I have SuperCoach depression.
I might chuck him as my VC. I'm thinking this week, Damo. I don't know.
Oh Jesus!
Richmond. All right, we'll move on. You've suffered enough from me. Sorry, we forgot to answer this. Would you TDK side swap to Cherry? I wouldn't.
It is very sideways, but I don't know what the rest. But I don't know what the rest of his team looks like.
How's the cash gen looking? Can you spend 630 on a side swap?
I feel like TDK to Cherry to get another 10 points a week is probably a bit sideways. You want to be increasing your points per week rather than having the best scoring guy.
Yeah, I agree.
So, for example, if you're adding 20 points onto your weekly score, then that's better than adding 5 points, 4 points, 10 points. If you can add 50 points onto your weekly score, that's even better. Like you got to look at how many points are you improving your team by, and TDK to Cherry doesn't feel like there's a lot of points in between each week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me, and they both got the same buy as well, so it's not like you're helping your buy structure for doing it. So
yeah,
I probably wouldn't recommend no. So this was with Caleb Daniel. Both hoped for a keeper, but knew he could be a cash cow. Happy to anti-pot him at the buy. Yeah, that's my plan. Thoughts on Warner versus Dawson? I can't make my mind up.
Well, that's easy for me. Warner's more likely to be a top 6 to 8 forward, whereas Dawson probably won't be a top 10 midfielder. So Warner.
And he's 40k cheaper.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, probably Warner. Guess it depends on who your F6 is. He might be fine fielding them. Did you trade out Humphrey before he put out the dusty performance?
We do not speak of Bailey Humphrey ever again.
The boy from Moe.
I am never picking him in my SuperCoach team ever again. He could be averaging he could be averaging 140, but because of this season, I am never picking him in my SuperCoach team ever again. I will happily finish second because first has Bailey Humphrey, because I will happily finish second not having Bailey Humphrey in my team if that's how it's going to work.
Yeah. You got to get a Bailey Humphrey tattoo if you fight him for the whole year and win SuperCoach.
But that's only if he's averaging well.
Yeah, only if he's averaging well.
Yeah.
He's F1 and you faded and still win SuperCoach. You got to get a tattoo.
Oh, Jesus.
I'd happily tattoo my face just to win SuperCoach, but they'll be my entire 50k on doing that, so I won't. Callum V, I know he's been a big fan of the channel, so I appreciate it, mate. Thoughts on these trades? Flynn, Bice, Caleb Daniel to Warner, Neil, and Erasmus. If I save the boost, I could just go Bice and Kako to Dawson and a Rook.
Is Caleb Daniel the biggest issue in your team at the moment, Callum? Because you must be ranked like top 10 if he is. I would be holding Caleb Daniel. I think I would even be holding Bice.
Yeah, I don't think you have to hold Bice.
This is difficult for me. This is difficult for me.
Bice and Kako to Warner and like Erasmus, I reckon that's good. I reckon that's fine. He just said down below the main reason to get rid of Daniels because I have 8 on the buy at round 12 currently. But his break even isn't that bad, is it? It's like 92. So he isn't
Correct.
urgent. Like, how much better is it worth using a boost to go from basically Caleb Daniel to Lachie Neale? I'm doing a similar vibe sort of trade this week. Like, do you think it's worth using a boost to go from Jaden Short to Chad Warner?
Oh, stop. You've just said you're trading out Jaden Short. Already gets a tick of approval.
I know he's got West Coast and shit this week, but yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
You're trading out Jaden Short. Already gets tick of approval. Yep, signed off by me.
Yeah, I was happy to hold Jaden Short until the break even got bad, or he was a buy flip. But now the break even's bad. I'm moving on. I don't know. Look, personally, the boost leaves me with 2 rookies on field. Jeez,
Shit.
2 rookies.
Okay. If that's the case, if that's the case, I don't mind that. I don't mind.
Okay, knowing that you've got like 2 rookies left, you can afford to do that, mate. Not owning Gorn has dropped me from.
And he's trying to get back in the top 100 as well. Okay, all right. You're going aggressive. You're going aggressive.
You don't actually have to listen to us, like.
but also, why are you here?
This is for degenerates only. Mate, do it.
Yeah, go on.
What are we to say? We don't want you to be the reason to drop rank. So you know what? Go for it. If you got 2 rookies left on field, oh my god. So yeah, Callum, do what you like. Lachlan Hurley. We'll see if we can ruin another person's season. I'm thinking of using my 4th boost and going Warner, Sink, Lair, and Box. So he's getting a sink and a box with Warner for Cherry, Flynn, and Patton. Then I'm just pick up Whitty and hoping to use my last boost on round 12 and go all out on Boney, Butters, and 2 rookies, thinking about Oliver, Daniel, and plus cash and make cash in the meantime. I still have some, to be fair. Cash gen with L. Ashcroft, Ride, Trainer, Cleary, Kako, Lindsay, Bison, Huss. What do you thought?
Yeah, sure.
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Lachlan. When usually not rude. Sorry,
okay,
boys.
So he's trading out Chera, Flynn, and Patton, getting in Chad Warner, Sinclair, and Boxall this week. So we've already spoken about going for rookies early. I don't like going for Boxall early. And then he will use his last boost in round 12 and go all out and get Bont. Well, round 12, Bont and Butters both have the bye.
Gee, it's a scuffed round, isn't it? Every good SuperCoach player has got that round 12 bye.
Is Adam Chera to Chad Warner a bit sideways?
I don't think Chera's worth a boost. Like, Chera can just be a buy flip. Like, he's got a good matchup with the Saints. Matt Flynn. Can you use Patton as a F8, D8? There's not enough money on him.
Oh, so at round 13, he's going to trade in Bont and Butters.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
in that case, I still wouldn't go for Boxall early.
I wouldn't grab Boxall early. You've got Lorenz next week to have a look at as well. You've got a guy we haven't mentioned yet, Joe Fonte from the Giants as well. He could be an option. So I don't think I don't think that's worth a boost.
Honestly, with Boxall, Lorenz, and Fonte all potentially available next week, it could be a triple downgrade week for some people next like in going heading into round 10.
I guarantee you one of them will turn to crap. Usually how it works.
Probably.
But it definitely feels like how many boosts have you got left? None? Okay. I'll have one after this week.
Oh, wait, are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Are you asking how many I've got left?
Yeah, how many boosts have you got
One.
left? Okay. And you're not using one this week?
No, I'm saving it. I reckon there will be a buy round where I need 4 trades, so I am saving it.
Really? You reckon we'll need a boost?
I mean, I might. I don't know about you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about my own team. I'm talking about me. You asked me about my boost situation. You've got your boost situation. I've got my boost situation.
Never talk about yourself again, all right? You're causing too much confusion.
I'm now a plank of wood.
Yep. That's how I always viewed you. All right. Overall summary. What's your overall summary on Lachlan?
I still don't love going for Hugh Boxall early, but he's got good cash gen. Kinda.
Yeah. I think it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it probably works in his situation.
Yeah, his cash gen's really good. So that's totally. Yeah, sorry, we made fun of your spelling. It's all good, mate. I do apologize.
Lachlan, I'm glad you pointed that out because I was going to say something like, "Did you sit on your keyboard or something?"
Typed in his Wi-Fi password. Yeah, sorry, Lachlan. We're usually very serious people here. Thanks, boys. Callum V, Steve nearly overtaken me with Gorn. But you're still 850 with not having Gorn. So it's also proof as well that you don't need all the superstars to get the job done. Callum V, just get Erasmus over Boxall if not name sub. Yeah. So how I would rank it is Hustwaite 1, Erasmus 2.
If not sub, I don't think he will be, but
and then going early on rookies number 3. But my guess will be a lot of people don't have Erasmus.
A lot of people either won't have Erasmus or Hustwaite.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just be grabbing Hustwaite. Ralphie, hi guys. Trading either Sam Powell Pepper or Flynn, depending on team selections, and Moraes to Warner and Pencil. Worth boosting Stone or Erasmus? Leaves 1 boost remaining. I don't think Stone or Erasmus is worth a boost.
No, I don't think so either. And I'm hoping Flynn gets a reprieve but in saying that, Powell Pepper in a showdown kind of intrigues me.
Yeah, it does. And he's like, I think Flynn gets dropped. Like, it was just real Jared Witt's round 1 performance all over again.
You reckon he does get dropped?
His leash is very short, very clearly.
Yeah, but they gave Bailey Smith a month, and you saw Bailey Williams, sorry, and you saw how he played against GWS that
and he didn't get dropped for
that. And they gave him 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Surely if Bailey Williams got a bit of rope, you know, for his performance against Kieran Briggs, you know,
yeah,
then hopefully they're smart enough to go, well, Max Gawn's just Max Gawn, like you're Matthew Flynn, he's Max Gawn, like we'll give you another week to prove that you're a competent ruckman. One more week.
Yeah, you got Nank. You'll be right, mate. And also, he's probably a better suited matchup for Nank than Bailey Williams is, but that's not saying much. I actually don't care if he gets named or not. I just really want Rowan Marshall.
If Flynn is dropped, I don't know what I'm doing with my flex this week. I'm just going to say that.
Just get Marshall.
With what money?
With Flynn's money. You don't have 150K to do an upgrade.
I don't know if you've seen my team, Steve.
Oh, no, I haven't, and I'm a bit scared to look at it the way you're talking about it. So
The thing is, you look at my team. No. My team looks fine, but I've taken a while to get my cash generation going after having a completely dead bench about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Shh. Be quiet. I probably shouldn't be here tonight. I probably shouldn't be here.
No, you're always welcome here, mate. You're always welcome. You'll be right. The Joker, very fitting. Hey guys, is McCluggage a top mid for the year? Him or Merritt this week?
No, probably not.
No, I don't reckon he is, and I prefer Merritt.
Yeah, Merritt's not going to be under 600K for a while after this week.
Probably not. Did CBA's go back up? Because that was my one red flag.
Break even is 89, and his lowest score for the year is 89.
What's his CBA's? Because that was really my red flag with him. Because I know they said they weren't going to play him as much in the midfield. What's his? So it's a lot, but it's been, mate, it was 91. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, he might be back. Would you go Merritt over Neil this week?
I'd probably go Neil, to be honest, just
Okay.
because he against North Melbourne.
Mm.
I don't know what James Jordan's going to do. He hasn't been effective, but he's still there.
James Jordan's a wash tagger now.
To be honest, so is Toby Bedford.
Yeah, Toby Bedford, to be fair, might be. Maybe tags just stuck this year.
I don't think, like, we were worried about the tags early in the year, but it feels like people have worked them out now.
Yeah, maybe they just
everyone saw Nick Dacos run James Jordan into the ground, and they've gone, all right, fine, we'll just do that then.
We'll just block him. Yeah. Lockie, I love you guys. Good old dyslexia. Love the jabs. Just trying to not laugh much at work. Appreciate the opportunity in this. My favorite stream every week. I appreciate that, mate. And I've read that wrong as well. And the stream's my favorite each week. No, I appreciate that, Lockie, and good to have you on. We know that Thursday morning / afternoon isn't the best for everyone, but it goes all right. I might have to have a discussion with Damo, because do we adjust it to Sundays? Sorry, not Sundays, Saturdays. Or do you reckon the Thursdays the go?
I can't do Saturdays.
Okay, so it's back on Thursday next year as well. MCB me, good to see you, mate. I'm sitting at the dentist office at the moment. Oh, best of luck, mate. Any chance you guys can get me out of here, mate? I don't wish that.
Sending help right now, mate. Sending help.
Yeah, we're getting
right now.
I have the biggest fear of the dentist, and I desperately need to go.
Every time I go to the dentist, they tell me scary stories, and I don't like it. But they always go, your teeth is great, but if it wasn't great, you could lose your entire mouth. So
Damo has no mouth. It'd be just useless on here.
I'd have to hold up signs.
Yeah. Hold up the 2-minute warning sign and all that on the bench. You'd be good on the bench of an AFL club, just holding up the signs.
I would love to know what some of those signs mean, because, like, I swear, like, there are some teams that just hold up like a snail, like, and then some players, and then some teams hold up like the number 4, and it's just like, why? What does that mean?
Yeah, because they do some rogue ones just to make people not understand what they are. It's just obviously a specific plan or something. Don't worry, Damo. Even without a mouth, you're still the best plank in the business.
Thanks, Lockie.
Take the compliments while you can, Damo. My thoughts with going Chera over Oliver is I feel like Oliver can hold his cash, if not make a little. Chera, I feel like, will drop. Going with Warner lets me have Track and Warner in the mid till I can. If Oliver's named, do you hold him?
I'm not holding him. He hasn't done enough for me.
No, he hasn't done enough. And I think Melbourne's got a tough run now.
I believe he's only had one score over 96 for the year as well. So he's really not doing enough.
He went nuts in round 2 and then
round 2 or round 1? One of those. But round 2, he really hasn't done enough.
But he's not going down in price. He's just consistently mid.
Consistently shit. Yes, correct.
Will he go to Geelong? You never know. Well, I guess with Chera, the break-even's high, so if you wanted to move off now, I think that's fine. But I also think Chera can bounce back.
I don't know if Oliver's coming back this week.
I heard he's in frame for selection, but who knows? We'll find out in 6 hours' time. Sorry, 5. Daniel Gadsden. Matt Flynn stays in without Williams. Do you hold? I don't really care. I'm not holding, but I know it's perfectly fine to hold.
If Matt Flynn stays in and there's no Bailey Williams, you hold.
Yeah.
If Bailey Williams comes in, though, he won't be playing in the ruck. He'll be a forward. Matt Flynn has no forward craft. So definitely hold. Actually, he might not have any craft, let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's just there.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get through the last few questions and then talk about our captains for the week, I think.
Yep, I agree. Move them forward after trading Daniel. I don't have marriage, so need to plan around it. Yep, fair enough. MCB, me, got to go. Love your work, lads. Good to see you back on the deck, Damo. Yes, it's always a pleasure talking to Damo here. Lockie, don't worry. Yep, we have. If Oliver goes nice, he makes 15K. That feels gettable.
Okay.
Who of Melbourne got Hawthorn? Okay. Yeah, interesting. The Joker, Ed Richards or Jordan Dawson?
I like Ed Richards more than Jordan Dawson, but I think you're getting pretty much the same with both.
Yeah, I think Ed Richards is another 30K. I think I'd go Ed Richards, especially now that Treloar's done his calf again as well. So, yeah.
Actually, if Treloar's done his calf again, which I haven't actually seen yet because I've been here, I really like Matthew Kennedy as a forward option if you want to go somewhere else than Chad Warner.
Does he outscore the top 6 forwards, though?
He currently is.
I do too. I just don't have room. But it's a good pod. Good pod to have.
Yeah, so he's not in a lot of teams, Matthew Kennedy, but he's gone 115, 79, 113, 90, 62, 125, 119, 108. He's scoring a lot like a certain Lockie Neal.
He is, isn't he?
Yes.
He is. And Carlton gave him away for jack shit. And no one talks about it. Everyone cries about what the Dogs did, but they're doing just fine.
Yeah. Hey, royalty. Hey, Joe. How you doing, mate?
Oh, Chabby. I'll see you at Manolis Tapas Bar on Monday. I've got a conundrum, fellas. Get Warner and Erasmus for Sam Powell, Pepper and Stone, or Neil and Erasmus for Chera and SPP, keeping Stone as a loop and walking into next week with 200K in the bank. I like the second option.
I like the second. Hang on.
The Chera.
I think Neil is a good enough upgrade from Chera, and Stone gives you that def forward loop, even if he doesn't play, and you've got 200K for upgrades moving forward. So yes, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'd part ways with Chera. I think I prefer that over
Yeah,
the top one.
I
Already have
like
6.
this. I like the second option, Joe.
Yeah, I like the second option, Chabby. Hope you're doing well, mate. Best of luck for your bombers this week. TDK to Cherry, I'm ranked 12.95 with his run. I need Cherry. I wouldn't do that. No,
No.
I don't think it's worth it, Max. Thank you for all the viewers as well. It's been great. We'll talk about our vice captain and captains and answering more final questions, and then we'll go. Vice captain and captain options. So we'll discuss what we are doing this week first, and then we'll discuss what we'll discuss some best other options. So for me, I'm going Dacos in the Gorn. I don't love it, but they're probably my best options. So I'm just cheering Dacos for a 120 tonight. What are you doing?
I'm going for Andy Brayshaw with my vice captain.
Okay.
I'm just reading the SuperCoach article written by Fantasy Freako this week regarding captains. He recommends midfielders against Collingwood and Adelaide, Brisbane mids, so Neil Dunkley, one of those guys, rucks against West Coast, Richmond, or Hawthorn, and general defenders against Gold Coast, Richmond, and Collingwood.
Okay. So you're going Brayshaw VC. Who's your
Well,
C?
Brayshaw VC, Neil C.
Yeah, Neil and Cherry, I think, are the two best options this week. I think if you've got Gorn or Dacos, I mean, I don't think they're great matchups, but they're both in extreme form. Especially if no one runs with Dacos, and I don't know if you guys have anyone that can sort of match with Dacos.
The only player I think who may go with Dacos is maybe Corey Wagner.
Yeah,
But that wouldn't be a tag. That would be a run with limit impact kind of thing.
yeah. Okay.
So Dacos could still have like 30 disposals, but it may only go at like 50%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen for my case. In terms of other good options, I think if you paid up for Bonds, I think that Gold Coast matchup is very good for him. I know Gold Coast have given up a fair few points to midfielders at the minute. What are some other ones?
Yeah, so midfielders against Collingwood and Adelaide. So that brings in that's Sarong, that's Brayshaw, that's Butters, that's Horn Francis, that's Rosie. So those are the kind of guys that you want to target for against those teams. Brisbane mids, Kangaroos give up massive points to mids. Last week they gave up 172 to Merritt. I think Neil scored like 150 the last time he played. No, so Neil's fairly good against. He scored 125 last time he played North, so that's a fairly good backup captaincy score, fairly safe one if you need to go there. 176 the time before that, so pretty good. Rucks against West Coast, Richmond, Hawthorn, so gone. I don't know why you would do a ruck against West Coast. Captain Matthew Flynn, that sounds like a great plan. No. General defenders against Gold Coast, Richmond, and Collingwood. So Luke Ryan's a VC option. Jordan Clark is a VC option. Ryan Marrick, unfortunately, is a VC option. Who are Gold VC? When do they play?
Sunday 110.
You could VC Ryan Marrick into Lockie Neal. Why not?
Yeah, true. Have you got a dead Brisbane or North rookie?
Someone might have James Tunstall.
Yeah, Jimmy Tunstall, the ultimate strip tease that he is.
And then who did Gold Coast play this week?
Dogs.
Gerald. So Bailey Dale. You probably wouldn't.
Maybe if you're 80k rank, you need to do something radical to get back up there, but no, I don't think so. Look, I think we will wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yep. Gorn VC and Anil. That's great.
Excellent.
Chubby, have a great weekend, guys. We appreciate everyone jumping on. 7 viewers. We really appreciate it. And we'll
Good to be
see you
back.
guys. Good to be back, Damo. Good to have you back. And good to be back for Throwdown Thursdays. We'll see you again next week. Beautiful.